Okay, sorry for this inconvenience. We will continue with the use of consultants. A decision will have to be made as to whether the feasibility study should be undertaken in-house by the project task force itself or contracted out to a third party. But the major advantage of hiring external consultants is that the report is more likely to have an independent focus. Also, the consultants can perhaps put forward comments and recommendations that would be difficult for individual government agencies, suggest, for political or other reasons. Now, the feasibility study report. The findings of the feasibility study will have to be considered and approved by the task force and eventually submitted for consideration by the project manager. Sufficient time should be allowed for this process, as it is essential to have the maximum input and agreement before the report is finalized. Is critical, this report. Is the basis of this report. And after the study has been accepted by the task force and the project management group, and the preferred single window option and the accompanying implementation option chosen, this decision should be presented to a wider government and trade community. So, it's very, very critical. We have feasibility study. The deliverable from the feasibility study is the feasibility study report. This report is taken by the task, may be improved if there are some weak points. And after that, the task force give this to the project management group. When task force, project management group finalize everything, then should be presented to the wider government and trade community. Irrespective of whether a pilot phase or full implementation has been decided, it is essential that a clear project management approach be adopted through the project implementation. The project management plan, which must be formally agreed upon by both project management and task force. Remember the previous slide. Should contain a set of clearly defined interrelated tasks and event milestones that can be assist the task force and the project manager group. What? Proceed in the project management phases, which are plan, the execute, the monitor, evaluate, and adjust the project implementation. There are many well-established approaches to establish management and several good software programs available to assist in process. For example, we have the Microsoft Project Manager. So, plan, monitor, exit, evaluate, and adjust the project implementation. The project management plan should contain a clear statement of the project's scope, goals, objectives. A statement on key deliverables, responsibility for delivery, time frame, and milestones for completion. Hold on. In these slides, the major role of the project manager is to check every time the baseline. The baseline is the line in which give us the information where exactly is our project. If the project is under budget or over budget, or if the money which are spent are covered all the work which is be done until here or not. And also, using this baseline, the project manager must inform all the stakeholders and all the relevant members, maybe government, traders, etc., exactly economically in which position is the project. So, we continue. The project management plan should contain clear statement of projects, scope, goals, and objectives, a statement on key deliverables, responsibility for delivery, time frame, and milestones for completion, definition of the roles and responsibilities of the various participants, including clear government on who is in charge of the project and the level of the authority of this manager, and participation of the management and monitoring responsibilities of the project manager and the line of authority and communication between the project manager, project management group, and the task. A clear strategy for communicating with project stakeholders and potential users on a regular basis through the implementation, including an agreement on what information needs to be communicated with what groups and in what manner and frequency. A clear and agreed project budget, including financial and human resources. It is essential that the necessary funds and personnel be allocated to the project from the outset. A clear statement of the project risks, such as a cutback in budget, delay in required legal reforms, etc., and an agreed response plan to the best extent possible to manage these risks, including contingency plan for high-level risks. Agreement on the criteria for measuring the project success, an agreed project review and feedback mechanism to provide ongoing monitoring of the project process, and to deal with any changes in the implementation that may be required. We continue with promotion communication. We talk about that and we say that this is very, very important because maybe you have the best product in the world, but without promotion communication does not work. Recommended the promotion and communication strategy for the development and operation of the thing we do, and this is essential to keep all stakeholders informed and on board through the project. We continue with the existing tools to develop this project. If you remember, we have, I think, 5 parts. The part A, the tools which are coming from the United Nations Centers for Trade Facilitation and Electronic Business. This organization, the United Nations, offers us simplification and harmonization of trade procedures, trade documents, codes for international trade, recommendations of information and communication technology, and other tools for implementation. The Part B offers the World Customs Organization offers us a data model. The World Customs Organization Customs Data Model, or CDM, is a harmonized and standardized maximum framework for data requirement for customs and other official cross-border related purposes. The customs data model supports the operation of single window systems and allows the sharing of information nationally and internationally. The customs data model is based on the UNTDED, applies the United Nations CFACTS modeling methodology, UMM, and refers to a range of UN, ISO, and other international coded standards such as UN LO code. Customs data model contains currently message implementation guides only for UN EDIFACT, but will offer also an XML specification for the future versions. Also, we have the unique consignment reference. The WCO UCR is a concept using the ISO 15459 ISO license plate compliant numbering systems or equivalent industry solutions such as applied, for example, in the express carrier industry to uniquely identify consignments in international trade from origin to destination. The UCR establishes an information and documentation link between the supplier and the customer in an international trade transaction and requires this reference to be used through the entire supply chain. Also, the UCR can be used as a common access key for national and international data sharing. Part C, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development produced the automated system for customs data, ASICUDA. ASICUDA is a computerized customs management system that covers most foreign trade procedures. The system handles manifests and customs declarations, counting procedures, and transit and suspense procedures. It generates trade data that can be used for statistical economic analysis. And the ASICUDA software is developed in Geneva by UNCTAD and operates on microcomputers in a client and server environment. ASICUDA is fully compliant with international codes and standards developed by ISO, WCO, and the United Nations. ASICUDA can be configured to suit national characteristics of individual customs regimes, national tariffs, and legislation. The system also provides for electronic data interchange between traders and customs using EDIFACT messages. The most recent, because the technology is running, web-based version of ASICUDA will allow customs administrators and traders to handle more of their transactions via internet. The new e-customs platform, dubbed as Ikuda World, will be particularly useful to development countries where poor fixed line telecommunications are the major problem for e-government application. Also, it is powerful enough for the recommendation number 3, the no. To accommodate the operational and managerial needs of customs operation in any developed country as well. And the Assecuda award will mean even greater tax revenue collection and lower transaction costs than are already provided by the current version of the system. Assecuda++, making it a showcase for e-government. Secondary benefit is the provision of information to facilitate measures to combat fraud, corruptions, and illicit trafficking. And it gives customs, the authorities in different countries, a tool for working together and online. Part D. We have the International Maritime Organization. IMO addresses the uses related to facilitation of international maritime tariffs through its facilitation committee, FOL committee. These issues include simplification of formalities, documentary, requirements and procedures on the arrival and departure of ships, and harmonization of documents required by the public authorities standardized as IMO FOL forms. Also, electronic business in the area of maritime traffic is one of the most important issues, which are currently under discussion by the FOL committee. IMO has also recognized the pressing need for a single window concept and pre-arrival information to allow all the information required to be provided for and by visiting ship to a port, including that required by the public authorities through one point entry. And finally, we have the part E, the tools which are produced by the International Chamber of Commerce, and the International Chamber of Commerce creates rules, norms, standards, and tools for international trade. Through voluntary ICC rules carry the force of law when incorporated into contracts and countries through the work abided by them because they have become indispensable in facilitating and harmonizing international trade procedures and contracts across the borders. So, this is the end of this session. I think I am in position to make the connection now with the new presentation, and I will continue with the next presentation.